My name is Ashley. I'm 33 years old and I live in Chatsworth, and I have an 11-year-old daughter named Renela. I'm a huge extrovert. I love community and being around people and just helping people. My mom passed away when I was 5 years old from a domestic violence dispute with a gun involved with her and my father. And then when I was 7, my father began to abuse me and my sisters physically, emotionally, mentally, and then with me, he started doing the sexual abuse. When I was 13, me and my dad had a really dangerous, crazy, extreme physical altercation that I don't quite remember because I blacked out. And when I came to, the police were at the door. And so that's when they stepped in and they removed us from his custody and put us in foster care. Our foster parents were Christians. They took us to a Christian convention. It was called Acquire the Fire. I'll never forget it. For the first time, I learned what it felt like to sing and worship. And then I started reliving my sexual abuse in my night terrors. So I told my therapist, and I didn't know that she's a mandated reporter. So then they had this whole investigation, and my dad was prosecuted. I testified against him in court. We went to trial, and the jury deliberated for 13 minutes and found him guilty of 80 counts of different things. I started waitressing and bartending at an adult entertainment club. I started selling drugs. I was gangbanging. It caught up with me at 17. I got arrested for possession of sales, check fraud, and assault with a deadly weapon. And because I was 17, they wanted to charge me as an adult. So I was facing 10 years. I was terrified. In the juvenile facility, there was a group of Christian ministry for youth that would come every Sunday. So I really got to learn in there what it was to be a Christian. I gave my life to Christ. So my first Jesus miracle was when my accuser of the assault testified on my behalf and dropped all the charges against me. Then the judge gave me the opportunity to do a drug program. If I finished it, that my record would become expunged. And I didn't. I never went to jail again. But I still was criminally minded. When I was 22, I got pregnant while I was still being an adult entertainer. And I just knew that having a child was my only way out of that lifestyle. Very quickly, I stopped using. I stopped drinking the minute I found out. And I had the most beautiful treasure of my life. She brought me a lot of happiness and joy that I had never had before. When my daughter was 3, me and her dad got in a really bad physical altercation and we separated and made the decision right then and there to pick up and use again. At 27, I realized I was creating the same pattern in my life as my mom. There was a gun in the house, there was drugs in the house. I had a 5-year-old, and I knew something needed to change. At that point, my sister, Brittany, had started coming over and talking to me about recovery and her treatment that she had gone through. I was so intrigued and I wanted to know more. She started taking me to NA meetings with her, which are Narcotics Anonymous meetings for people who suffer from addiction. For the first time, I felt like I wasn't by myself in my life. I said, I'll get clean if we can have the same clean date. And she was like, oh my gosh, of course. And so we both share April 28th as our clean date. I didn't realize at that time that my sister had a relationship with Jesus and had been praying over me and my whole situation. She started going to Rocky Peak and had been asking me, hey, do you want to come with me, sis? Then I went. I remember walking onto the campus and I just started crying. And I just cried through the whole worship. I knew I was home. I needed to be there. I got into a life group immediately, 2535 with Pastor Michael. My relationship with Jesus began to become tangible. So I decided at that time to get baptized. I could feel him, I could hear him, I could talk to him without any doubt, without any hesitation, without any self-judgment. My faith got really tested in August of 2020. I got COVID. I ended up in the hospital in the ICU. I had double pneumonia, blood clots in my lungs, full body myalgia, couldn't move, couldn't speak. I just remember pleading to the Lord, just please don't let me die a painful death. So Pastor Michael video called me, and him and Lynn prayed over me. Jesus just spoke through him to me. I could clearly hear the Holy Spirit tell me, I'm not done with you yet. And so I just fought and I fought. Everything started turning around. I got my voice back. I was able to sit up. I was able to start eating. And so I got out. I started walking. Now I'm jogging 3 to 4 times a week. I feel great. I'm happy. I'm healthy. And everything just keeps getting better and better and better. Jesus has really changed who I am from the inside out. And I know that I will be able to persevere with his power. I give all the glory in my life to God. And for now, my story is still being written. And I can't wait to see what he's going to do in my life next.